All right, before I start my show where I scream at clouds, meal prepping is a real pain in the you-know-what. And I don't care what anybody tells you, it's an incredible amount of work, and you're liable to make a lot of food that is very repetitive. So your big plan to eat well is pretty much submarined after week 1. What if you could take all the convenience of meal prep, except you don't do a bit of it and no repetition? That's what Factor meals are all about. Delivered to you regularly, ready to go. You warm them up in some of the greatest tastes you'll ever have. You'll be like, how can this possibly be? It's a perfectly cooked, amazing meal without a ton of calories and all the nutrition and energy I need to live a healthy lifestyle. Let's face it, time is a factor. And if you're short on time, you aren't going to eat well. Forget the time factor. Forget paying too much for getting takeout food. How about something absolutely perfect, ready to go? When things get hectic, Factor is flexible. You can even change your order up every week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. This is so set up for you, you're going to love it. Stress less over meal times in the new year. Factor's no prep, no mess meals, free up time otherwise spent shopping, cooking, and cleanup. No more wasting all that time. Listen, head to factormeals.com/Zane50 and use code Zane50 to get 50% off. That's right. Code Zane50 at factormeals.com/Zane50 to get 50% off. Factormeals.com/Zane50. Use code Zane50 to get 50% off. That's code Zane50 at factormeals.com/Zane50 to get 50% off. Do it.
Wow. I mean, I bet you he was, like you said, he was hoping for a settlement, but he's got to be shitting his pants with it actually going to court.
Well, he requested a jury trial himself.
Oh, okay. So he's ready to blow all this money, huh?
I guess
to try to make some money.
I don't know. Maybe he's got it. It's the type of lawsuit where they do it. The fee is contingent upon if you win.
Oh, okay.
Where they would get probably 60% of it, whatever the winnings are.
Wow.
But I was talking with Pat Collins, a radio guy, and he's like, oh, yeah, Justin's going to make a ton of money. It's like, yeah, I don't think you know how this works. Just because you say a person alleges something, we live in a day and an age where you absolutely better be able to prove that shit.
Right.
So it's, I guess that remains to be seen. We'll be watching, to be sure.
I always got the feeling, when I would listen to Free Range Hot Wings, I always got the feeling that Joe hated Justin. I wonder if Ashley has any insight on that. It seemed like he could not stand Justin.
Well, I forget.
My favorite.
I'm sorry. And Ashley, do the timelines match up? You were with Joe and that guy was there?
Yeah, because when Chicago Flying Laptop happened, Justin was reaching out to me and like trying to tell Joe to chill because Joe was like escaping rehab and coming to the apartment. Just nonsense. But my favorite Justin story is they did one of their shows live at night or whatever in the Marriott Hotel right across the street from where they're at. I brought a girlfriend with me and she did so much Molly, but she was so excited to meet Justin. I was like, hey, meet Justin. And she ralphed all over him, all over the counter, all over his face, like spewed. It's like movie shit, like
Exorcist.
She goes, sorry, I did too much ecstasy. And he was like, okay.
Holy fuck. He may have talked about that. If he didn't, he's crazy. That's a fantastic.
Oh, but then Joe's there. But Ellen was there too. That was a wild night.
Okay, so wait a minute. Was this prior to the big blow up?
Yeah, by like a year.
Okay. So you're dating Joe?
Well, I knew Joe. I didn't know I was dating him yet. It was very new. It was like week 1.
Had his, it's called the penis. Was it inside of your body at that point yet?
Well, that happened night 1, so that doesn't really count.
Oh, well, okay, so at that point.
Remember the whole story of when
I know.
Went, and I was
just
like, I don't
to
know
make
if you're single, and you ripped my door handles
off.
off.
I'm trying to get the timeline to figure out if there was a ding dong.
Very quick.
In your body. And then, okay.
I was at the Anchor Bar downtown. I get a tap on my shoulder because he had been following me on Twitter, which I wasn't a big Twitter person. They were doing like a Super Bowl something, and I made a comment, and they replied to it, and he was like, "Hey, that was with love, blah blah blah." And when it's like when they say don't post your location where you're at, because people will find you. I got a tap on the shoulder. I turned around. I'm like, God, crap. And then we made out and had sex in my car. I was not sober.